Welcome to Submitting to the Alpha, a spicy paranormal romance web serial. Dive into Isabella and Roman's sizzling shifter romance and experience the thrill of toying with an alpha like never before. Join the adventure now. We hope you enjoy.
Chapter 35. Isabella. New pack, new you, huh? Riker asked from the doorway to my room in the Lycans pack house. He stared at my freshly cut and highlighted hair that sat in loose curls at my shoulders. A smile twitched on my lips, the first smile in nearly 2 weeks since I left, and I glanced at him through the mirror. Moonflowers twinkled in the corner of my room near the window. You can complain about it all you want, Mr. Riker, but I like it. I wanted him to respond with a sly comment, something that Roman would say, something to remind me of him. But instead, he walked over to me, tugged on one of my curls, and said, I like it. You like it? I asked, my finger brushing against my mate's necklace. The metal was cool, cold even. He glanced down at the pendant, then looked back at me and nodded his head. It fits you, Bella. I playfully pushed past him and walked into the living room. Though I had barely smiled these past 2 weeks, I liked this new me. I liked being able to train and to protect others. I liked being able to do what I loved, and I liked having a pack that supported me. I liked everyone here. But I missed him. It had been an agonizing 2 weeks without relaxing into his scent, or in his arms, or even in the thought of him. Mom was wrong about Roman. He wasn't going to come around anytime soon. We're going to be late for practice, I said. Practice doesn't start for another half hour. He followed me into the living room and sat across from me on the couch, resting his forearms on his thighs and letting his biceps ripple. Now, do you have anything you want to tell me? No. He raised a single sharp brow. Not even about the mate's necklace around your neck? I fingered the necklace again, heart racing. He had seen it plenty of times since I had been here, and he let it slide. I knew he would ask about it sooner or later. Is it someone in the Lycans? No. He raised his brows, amused. You and Raj seem to get along quite nicely. I scrunched up my nose. Raj is attractive, but he's not my type. Who? Why do you want to know? He paused for a moment, his lips pursed together. Because you have a necklace, but aren't marked. Of course. I must have been the only werewolf ever who had a mate's necklace but wasn't marked. One without the other was the first sign of rejection. I sighed, rested my head against the couch, and closed my eyes. A part of me still didn't blame him for not marking me, and I hated it. My wolf wanted him more than anything she had ever wanted. These past 2 weeks, she refused to push herself hard in training. She was hurt that Roman didn't want us for who we truly were. Warriors. I gripped the edge of the couch, trying to hold back the tears. She felt rejected. I felt rejected. And now, I wasn't only adjusting to a new life with a new pack, but I was adjusting to life without him. The threat of rogues and the threat of going into heat weighed heavily on my shoulders. It was so stupid for me to cry in front of Riker, my leader, but I gazed right at him with tears in my eyes. Roman is my mate. Roman? He asked, almost in disbelief. Before I could shed a tear, I wiped the corner of my eye with my finger. Yes. He ran a hand through his hair, then rubbed his face with his hands. Let me guess. He was too angry to mark you. No, he wasn't. I pressed my lips together. He was too disappointed in me. I stood up and shook my head. too disappointed in my decision to do what I loved. He always seemed disappointed in me, even when I was in his pack. It didn't matter what I did. I never seemed like enough. Bella, Riker started. I don't want to hear it, Riker. Don't apologize for him. Don't defend him. I don't care. I can get through this without him. I have to. This was my decision, and I wouldn't have made a different one if I knew we were mates prior to joining the Lycans. This has been my dream, and nothing will take my dream away. His lips curled into a small smile. Independent woman. He stood next to me and stared down at me with his lovely dark eyes. You surprise me more every day, but I would never make any excuses for him. If he can't see how strong you are, then that's his fault, not yours. But we need to talk about you going through heat. I know, I whispered, suddenly feeling rejected. You'll be going through heat in a couple of weeks, he said. We need to be prepared. Most warriors, especially in this pack, are driven by innate instinct. When the time comes and they feel that you're in heat, they'll try to put you out of it as soon as possible. I'll fight them off. You won't be able to, he said, a sudden sadness in his voice. Have you ever seen a she-wolf in heat before? He asked. I shook my head. You won't be able to fight anyone off. I don't care how strong you are. He brushed his fingers against the scar on his neck. You won't. We sat in silence for a few moments, the air thick with tensions. Then I nodded and grabbed his hand, squeezing it with mine. Then, we will create a plan for when I do.
You've reached the end of this episode. Thanks for listening. To get up to 4 weeks additional uncensored content, subscribe to the podcast at reamstories.com/Amelia Rose Audio. Due to content restrictions, explicit sex scenes will only be available through Ream. But if you'd like to continue listening to my free episodes, make sure to hit the follow button to receive updates.